Hi everyone, I'm Paul Kankowitz, and this is a development update for Grapplers Relic Rivals, my 2D PvP platformer with grappling hooks. Over the past month, the game has gotten a huge facelift thanks to my artist, Nicholas Pava. This involved not only getting real art into the game, but also reworking the camera to properly scale the pixel art in a pixel-perfect manner. I also didn't have a target resolution set before. Whoops. So now the game should look great no matter what the resolution of the window or monitor are. I'd love to go over how this was achieved, but honestly there are people who explain it a lot better than I ever could. I'll add a link in the description for a tutorial video Nicholas sent me that helped a ton. I did, however, want to go over why setting this is so important and the huge headache I experienced by not setting this early in development. At a base level, resolution effectively means how many pixels are displayed. This is represented by two numbers, width and height. For example, the target resolution of my game is 640 by 360. Assuming we're in full screen, this is then stretched to fit the resolution of my monitor, which is 1920 by 1080. You might also hear the word aspect ratio, which is just a number calculated by taking the width and dividing by the height. For example, the aspect ratio of a 1920 by 1080 monitor is 1.777, or 16 by 9. So why are all these numbers important? When making a game, you set certain values for things, such as the player's movement speed, the maximum grapple length, or the impulse generated by being hit by a dart trap. These all effectively boil down to pixel amounts. When you change the number of pixels, the values you've set no longer make much sense. Let me show some examples. Here's what my game would look like with the movement speed set the way it was before updating to the new resolution. And here's with gravity set to the previous value. And the dart trap impulse. All this to say that changing the resolution after I had locked in values for everything meant that I had to go through and update every value to match the new resolution. The game looks amazing now though, and it properly scales to match any window size, so huge thanks to Nicholas for pointing out how important resolution is. I've also been working with Nicholas on the art for the game. One of the first things we worked on were the 4 characters. I've had the idea from the beginning that I wanted the characters to all have different colors and shapes to allow players to keep track of their character. I also wanted them to have different, personalities would be the right word, so players could feel an attachment to a particular character. This is the Mage. She's a charming character who's motivated by gaining knowledge of the powerful relics hidden away in tombs and vaults. This is the Shadow Assassin, also known as the Cultist. They're a mysterious character whose identity and motivations are unknown, hopefully allowing the player to imprint their own thoughts onto this character. Here's the Pirate, who just wants to amass treasure. We all like a little booty. Finally, here's the Tomb Guardian, whose goal is to protect the relics from invaders. His art isn't finished yet, but it's getting close. This is a really minor thing, but I also made the UI alpha out whenever a player is nearby. This effectively just boils down to some math to convert from world space coordinates to GUI space coordinates, but I really like how this turned out, so I wanted to mention it. Ouch. Finally, I wanted to mention that I've been interviewing a few sound designers, so I'll hopefully choose a candidate and get them started in the next month or so. I'm really looking forward to getting some real music in the game, as sound plays a huge part in game feel. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.